All right, and we're back. Tip Touch Podcast back at you again with another brand new episode. I want to say first, we've been absent for a little bit. Ran into some minor technical difficulties. We did do an episode with Sunshine, so shout out to her. But unfortunately, we lost some data in the midst of after recording that episode. So we'll definitely have to chop it up here in the future and bring you back with that episode here in the near future. But we're back. As you can tell, probably when you're watching this video, we're both sweating profusely, but we're ready. We're prepared. Brett's got his beer inside his little ice thermo, whatever that is, right?
Yeah. My Under Armour. I'm trying to show people that I am extremely Caucasian. I'm drinking Blue Moon out of a Under Armour thermos. Yeah,
It's the only way to do it.
24 ounces of goodness going into my soul. And you're keeping it real with the Vatos.
Dude.
Drinking the
Modelo on deck, man, for this sunny day.
That's what I drink when I'm hanging with your crew, you know. Like, hey,
you gotta blend in.
Every Tuesday, I'm drinking Modelo.
Hey, you got to do it proper, brother. You got to do it proper, man.
Absolutely.
But dude, it's been a while since obviously we've been back on the podcast tip, and there's so much that went on. Obviously, the month of June, I feel that it's been like we're still in June, right? Not July.
We are just at the end of June. Yeah.
Yes. So June's just been full of events, man. I definitely want to just say that this month has been kind of one of those things where you can reflect on stuff. And then, stepping aside from the podcast for a little bit, just to kind of start with the random topic of this episode is that the one thing that stood out to me was kind of the subject in time. Time meaning, my daughter turned 3 this month.
Yes.
And when I look at her from a distance, I kind of think to myself, like, isn't it wild? But to me, like, from my personal opinion, I feel like once you have kids, I feel like speed, like the clock on that goes a little bit more quicker. And I don't know if I'm the only one that feels like that, but I would want to like take a little poll and like put it up on our Instagram at the Dutch Podcast. If you're not following, follow us. Like, do a lot of parents feel the same way when they have kids? Like when they have their first kid or whatever, that time is kind of like sped up a little bit, or it just feels like it's just moving too quick, quicker than before. I don't know. I mean, do you feel like that sometimes?
All the time. I mean, I've got a 13-year-old. She turned 13 in May.
That's wild, dude.
I'm just like, dude, ain't no way 13 years ago. Like, that means I'm getting old.
Oh, dude, I know, right? Like, you just forget to think about that,
I'm still rocking some flat bills every now and then. I'm like, shit, I haven't even bought my first pair of Air Jordans yet. And I'm like, man, I haven't crossed the line, have I? Because I don't want to be that old guy that's just trying too hard to hold on to being my youth. But I, I mean, it's crazy. The time, children, I think that there's just so many things that happen that are fun. I think that there's a lot about parenthood, about fatherhood in specific, that is so much fun that all of a sudden you look back and you're like, that is a lot of time that's passed.
Oh, dude, it's insane, man. And it kind of trips me out because I feel like there's a lot of moments where we feel like we're going through a lot of stuff, like things are moving so quick in your daily on the daily basis on your agenda or whatever you're doing, on a weekly thing, but it's you don't take time to kind of really like sit and digest it and like think like, fuck, dude, we're already like midway through 2021 before you know it, 2022. I mean, it's wild, dude. I don't know. It just, this month it's kind of been like that for me, just to kind of like, I guess, self-reflect in a way, if we want to use the proper fucking the term, I guess. But it's wild, dude. And then also, like I was telling you off the pod, a little recalibration is always good, you just kind of really, decompress a little bit, do what we do, family men, and just chill out. But it's wild to think that even with the podcast, I mean, dude, I forgot what episode this is. I think this is episode, well, I forgot. Honestly, it feels like it's been a fucking while,
Yeah.
Damn, but no, but whatever episode this is, I also just thank everybody also for following us till till now. I mean, it's amazing that we've gone this far, met a lot of cool people, and just, providing just content for everybody to listen to and enjoy,
Yeah, this year alone, just with our guests that we've been able to get, just the reach is going further and further out. And it's just as I think like, oh wow, we've reached our peak or whatever, like then we'll outdo ourselves. And I'm like, holy smokes, this is crazy.
Oh yeah, man. There's
I'm about to have another drink.
Take a swig of that straight silver vodka. But no, dude. So let's jump into one of our main topics that we were planning on talking about on this new episode. Let's go straight to it. Let's put our fucking tinfoil hats on because we're going a little conspiratorial with John McAfee.
John McAfee.
McAfee. Is it McAfee really, or is that McPhee?
McAfee.
Is it McAfee?
Because
I know that he made that McAfee security system internet.
The antivirus system.
I was just fucking probably butchering the name the whole time, and you just corrected me, and I'm just like, oh shit, my bad, I fucked up. Of course.
Let's see. Hold on. McAfee? Are you thinking McAfee?
Is it McAfee?
I don't McAfee. Fuck.
Either way,
I don't know.
Homeboy that invented obviously the antivirus system, right, for computers and all that. He was the main one, right? The main guy that came up with that program.
Yeah, that was his he invented that and sold it. I mean, sold it early off, and that's how he made his millions. And then he just became this very eccentric figure in technology. And then he actually talked to the people. There was an interview he was in. So first of all, before we're talking, the reason why we're talking about him is because he was found in a Spanish jail, apparently suicided.
Yeah.
And already, I mean, it was crazy because it was like almost instant that people knew or just had this feeling that it was very similar to Jeffrey Epstein. Yeah. And he himself spoke out and said that, hey, if this happens, I did not do it.
Yeah.
And like how many people. And so I think that anyway, so that's why we're talking about him now, but a little bit about his past. Yes. So he did the antivirus, made his millions, went off. He actually got involved in crypto for a while. And he knew, like I was listening to this interview where he said that he can almost certainly pin who Satoshi Nakamoto is, the founder of Bitcoin. So, because the people that were starting Bitcoin were writing to him and introducing to him the very first white paper that Bitcoin created. So, he was just able to narrow them out. And due to the process of elimination, he was like, I figured it out. I know who it is. But he knew that if this identity was released, that they would also end up Epstein and now McAfee. I really hope I'm saying his name right. If I'm saying his name wrong, I'm going to be saying it wrong this whole episode.
Yeah,
but
me too. Same here.
I mean, I've been listening to his episodes. I think it's McAfee. Really do. Yeah.
Either way, I mean, it's crazy though, because the one thing, obviously a red flag was he did tweet about that. If for whatever reason something were to happen to me, it wasn't really me that did that, or off himself. So one thing you can say quickly right off the bat, maybe it was the way to prevent or to just quiet him up in preventing him from actually revealing who this cat was that came up with the idea of Bitcoin. What if I mean, or what do you think it was? What do you think? Why do you think they opted him off?
So when he was in his world of cryptocurrency, he was teaching people how to use cryptocurrency. He was very big on telling people Bitcoin is going to be worth nothing. Bitcoin is already worth nothing. It's just that people haven't figured it out yet. And so he's not saying anything any different than, say, the Cardano founder, Charles Hoskinson, is saying. Charles Hoskinson himself is saying that Bitcoin is old, it's antiquated. I myself do not own one Satoshi of Bitcoin. I just won't hold it because to me, the writing is on the wall. And so if people want to make some money off of it before it expires, by all means, that's a gamble at that point. But these people that are in the crypto space that know better than us are the ones saying Bitcoin's done. Bitcoin's heyday was the digital Silk Road, when they were using Bitcoin as a currency on the dark web. Well, ever since that blew up, and everything has been public as far as, you know, the transactions and how they can track you, John McAfee was saying, no, this is not the way. And so he was really promoting some other coins, but his whole thing was basically use it as a currency. Don't use it as a store of value. And there's just so many banks and all that and institutions that are trying to use it as a store of value. But yeah, his whole thing, he did not pay taxes. That's what his beef was with the government. And if anybody knows, ask Wesley Snipes, ask anybody who has Lauren Hill, ask anybody who's ever had beef with paying taxes to the U.S. government, and they will tell you that Uncle Sam will make your life hell. And the case with John McAfee is he was already a target with the tax stuff, but he knew so much more, and he was very influential in the technological space, in the crypto space, and I think that he was trying to help some people, and they finally just got him. They'd been trying to get him, but he knew his international laws, and so he was fleeing from Cuba to the Bahamas, or maybe it was the Bahamas to Cuba, and eventually ended up in Spain. And you know, this guy was living on the run. He everybody knew his situation with Belize, and you know, the whole thing where the guy his neighbor ends up dead, and so now he's facing murder charges. And you know, I call him, because he lived such an eccentric life, I called him the crypto space's very own Tiger King. He was like the Tiger King of the crypto space. But he was a diehard libertarian. And he was a diehard. He was diehard in the fact that taxes are unconstitutional. And he would, if you listen to any interview where he talked about taxes, he said he would point you to the Constitution and say, here it is unconstitutional, and I will never pay taxes. So all of a sudden, he's suicided in this jail. His CNN has a headline that says John McAfee was not suicidal. It says widow of antivirus software. So there's a lot of people. I mean, there's a lot of people that, you know, Jeffrey Epstein had more of a reason to kill himself than John McAfee. John McAfee had already spent time in prison. He wanted to come back to America. He didn't want to come back in cuffs. He didn't want to sit in jail, but he'd been in jail all over the world. So jail was nothing new to this man. He was 75 years old. And, you know, I don't know. I think that I really do think our government is going to one day, I think we're going to find out one day that they were behind the Jeffrey Epstein killing, that they were behind this John McAfee killing. And I don't think they were suicide. I don't think either one was.
Yeah, I think just the major red flag was the fact that he just blatantly put out, like, even, I don't know how long it was before, you know, he quote unquote committed suicide, that he just said, you know, if something were to happen to me, it wasn't me.
Right.
I mean, I don't know what more evidence you could really put out there, but we could be like, well, what if it wasn't him? What if they hacked his account or somebody put that? Yeah, I guess, but it's still kind of a red flag in my opinion. Like, and I never even heard of this dude until now. Like, it's just the fact that, like, you know, this happened kind of weird, I guess, just the way it happened, the way it went down, right? It's really odd. I don't know. And then what you're saying about paying tax, man, fuck paying taxes, man. But you know what? I wouldn't really say that, because you get fucked multiple ways for you to pay whatever you owe the year before, whatever. I mean, I can go on a rant with that shit, like, you know, till there's no tomorrow. But it's insane, dude. Like, I just never really understood it, and I get the concept behind it, but it's the fact that sometimes, like, you're paying an insanely large amount. I'm like, damn, it's wild how much, you know, you're making a good living, you know, put a roof over your head and all that, and then at the end of the year you pay X amount. Like, I mean, first off, I want to know where that's going. You know,
Yeah,
I wish
where is 30% of my money going?
exactly where is the contribution that I'm putting in for these taxes? Where is that going? I mean, by now you would think there would be a system in place where that could be, shown to you. You know what I'm saying? Log into your account. Oh, Eduardo, your taxes went to X, X, Y, and Z, whatever. Cool. At least I know. At least I can sleep better knowing that, like, okay, it went to a good cause or whatever may have you. You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
the fact of the matter is, there isn't. And I'm still just sketched out knowing that, where the fuck is all this money going? You know what I'm saying? So,
Yep. Yeah. I
John,
mean,
RIP, man.
yeah. Hey, I mean, I know that him and I can't agree on everything that he was saying. But I do agree with many of his sentiments when it comes to our U.S. government. I think our U.S. government, they're the not the like the service portion of it, like our police and our firefighters and
Yeah.
the face that we see. I'm talking about the people behind the scenes, like the top brass CIA, the inner intelligence community, and what we call the shadow government, the people that are on the payroll but not really known who they are. And they're it's CIA going all over the world, doing things that would be against the law for any other service person or someone in the intelligence committees or intelligence agencies to do, where all the U.S. government CIA is getting away with it. And they're getting people killed, they're getting people, and for them it's just a day in the life. It's just a work day for them. And I think that when you have that as a government, that's part of your system, that's part of how you run your country, I think that's rotten to the core. And I don't think it's sustainable. I think that's very much how China and Russia run as well. I think they have similar things. It's just that America just has this pretend pretty face that we put on, like, oh, we're pro democracy, yet we'll invade a country and steal all their oil in the name of liberation. And that's all presidents. That's Obama. That's Trump. It doesn't matter. I'm waiting any moment for Biden to get us into a war so that he can get a second term. There's no way that this man is on a trajectory for a second term the way that he's shit canning our country right now. And with gases, I mean, you can look at gases, you can look at food, you can look at inflation, taxes. He wants to raise taxes on the middle class. I mean, he wants to do everything that's going to hurt us. So fuck a second term for him.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's just crazy how expensive things are getting, especially with gas, food, daily, just the stuff like soap and all that stuff. You're seeing a price. I mean, we just talked about that a couple episodes ago. It's wild. Even like the price of what is it? Lumber, dude. It was
4 times.
What is it? Coworker of ours. I don't want to say his name. We were talking about that. He was just saying that he went over to Lowe's or Home Depot. I forgot how big of a piece of plywood. It was like $80. I'm like,
$100 for that. Yep.
Look, dude, that's insane.
And it shouldn't be like that.
And that makes sense that why houses are getting so crazy fucking expensive now too. You know what I'm saying? Like, wood is expensive, lumber is expensive, so it equals out to be where this house is going to be 600 plus. So it's fucking insane, dude.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I'm curious I'm curious to see how that's gonna, if it'll level out, or if we're ever gonna see like a ding in just in the house market space, like here down the road. So, but dude, I just don't see it anytime soon, to be honest, dude.
Eventually, I think it's going to be a very painful drop. I think it's going to be a drop that's going to hit so hard that it's going to hit every single one of us. I'm in the crypto space, and I also have stocks. So, I look at the tens of thousands that I have, and I'm like, I think I'm going to lose it, because I think that we are right on the cusp of one of the biggest bubbles that's going to pop. And so right now, what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to look at safe things to do with my money so that I can prepare for this thing. But what this Biden administration has done to this country, and since January, has been astounding. I mean, it's been 6 months, and I'm already afraid of losing at least half of my retirement. Just to one president. One president can do that. That is insane. No president should have the power, or no administration should have the power to destroy a country so bad. And that's just the economics. I mean, look at what's going on with our society. Everybody's fighting with everybody, and everything's about race, and everything's about this, and everything's about that, and there's nothing to bring us together. It's only shit that is meant to push us away from each other.
Mm-hmm.
There is absolutely nothing in this administration that says, hey, let's talk about being inclusive with everybody. Instead, it's these extreme individualities, and they want to make all these extreme individualities appear to be mainstream and pretend to be mainstream. And I don't care. People can be who they want to be, but don't ostracize me for being the mainstream. Don't make me the bad guy just because I happen to be the mainstream, the majority. So, why does there have to be a bad guy? Why can't we just say, hey, we are all in this together. We have a democracy to run. We have children to educate. We have mouths to feed. And we have taxes to lower, but that's not the game. I think that there is something bigger going on, and I can't put my finger on it. I mean, I don't know. Maybe this whole thing about the Great Reset is happening. Maybe they are working in cahoots with the world government, because it's not just America going through this. It's everybody. They're talking about this climate crisis. They're talking about aliens. I mean, basically anything that can take our attention away from the real situations and from solving the real problems that are right in front of us. And they want us to focus on UFOs and aliens. Fuck you guys.
Yeah. It's, my theory on that, since you brought that up, it's kind of shifting towards, I think it's got to be US technology that, I don't remember where I heard this, but it made perfect sense. So it's kind of a way for the US to kind of be like, there's these unknown entities flying around. But what if it's really the US trying to kind of like flex their muscles with something that they want to put out there to the media, but really knowing that it's them? Because it's like, if you kind of think about it, from what I know, I don't really hear about other countries seeing these fucking things flying around. It's always the US. It's always by our US Navy and all that stuff. And have you, like, there's really nothing that's been happening aside from just them appearing and all that. All I'm saying, it's like who's better to say, like, they're out there, we don't know what they are, but it's really just coming from us. Like, what if it's really us undercover, low key, to really kind of show our shit off and be like, yeah, motherfuckers, you guys want to fuck with us? You're gonna, we got all this shit right here. They guys don't even know what it could possibly do. I mean, that's a theory of mine too now. Like, what if it's our stuff that we're just showcasing? Like, see what we can do. Try to fuck with us. See what happens. That's kind of my theory.
I mean, it could be.
That's kind of my guess now, because I mean, it's just been happening here. Like, unless it's been happening, like, let's say Russia, China, but they don't really want to say anything. But aside from that, I mean, they're not really going to put it out there either. So I don't know, man. I mean, it's crazy. Like, I mean, it's been more active, of course. There's a lot more sightings happening. They're supposed to release those documents supposedly with UAPs, I think this month or next month or something like that. So everybody's really, like, on edge with that, waiting to see what they're really going to release and stuff. So I don't know. It's going to get interesting, man. I mean, there's just, like, dude, I don't know, this just year, it feels like things are kind of slowly going back to normal, but then it feels like it's really not. I don't know. It's just really just crazy times that we're really living in, man, honestly.
I'm honestly waiting for these vaccination passports too. Like, right now, even our state governor says, oh, it's not a vaccination passport, but it really is. And so what I'm waiting for is for them to just finally, and it's only leaders on the left. Like, you don't see any Republican states pushing forward. I mean, it's all for control. These left-leaning states, these blue states, deep blue states, want this unprecedented amount of control of the people. And I don't know if it's just obedience, like they want you to be completely obedient to them, but it's only happening with them, and they are unrelenting with their power. All this stuff was supposed to be temporary, right? I mean, mind you, this mask, when we were wearing it, we are just now beginning to shed them And I think we were getting tired of it. I think more and more people were just like getting sick and tired of wearing those masks. And so I think that they eventually realized that they couldn't keep up the act much longer, because eventually we were just going to rebel and, basically just not believe anything else. But where was I going with that? With the mask was started off as 14 days. Hey, 14 days to slow the spread. Let's just wear these masks for 14 days. That was supposed to be it. How did 14 days turn into a goddamn year?
Yeah.
And almost, tried to get us on a year and a half. And
wild,
and it could even be something where we have this thing is a virus, right? So it's supposed to come back. So what? Now we're gonna wear masks every winter, every flu season. Now, is that what we're gonna do? I think a lot of people are gonna do it voluntarily. I think that I talked to so many people who will wear a mask, and I'll ask them, oh, so and I'll give them a high five, like, yeah, right on. You didn't get vaccinated either. Good for you. They're like, oh no, I did. I'm just still wearing the mask. And then I just lose all kinds of respect for them, because then I'm like, oh, I don't want to talk to you anymore. I've got no time for you. So yeah, I mean, no, I'm just kidding. People can do whatever you want. If you want to be a scared little bitch, you can. That's fine. Live in fear. But I'm telling you, don't, for those of us that don't want to live in fear, that want true freedom, that want freedom to be able to get the vaccine if we want, leave us alone. Leave us alone. We just want freedom. I had COVID and I rocked it like a champ. I didn't even know I had it. All right. I may have had it the first time before we were all going, and that kicked my ass. That kicked my ass sideways. Right. And I was in 3 different countries with it. So rock on. But the thing is there are so many other things that could get you more sick than what this thing did to me. It was a little bit of fatigue that I didn't even feel, because I drink 600 milligrams of caffeine every day, so I didn't even feel the fatigue. I just lost my taste of smell and or sense of taste and sense of smell. And that's it. Other than that, I was back in the saddle 2 weeks later. Nothing.
Damn.
So I'm not going to live in this fear that Governor, what's our governor's name?
Inslee?
Jay Inslee. Yeah. Jay Inslee, Gavin Newsom, Michelle, or whatever, Megan, whatever her name's, Whitmer, over on the East Coast. I'm not living in that fear. And I don't think you should either. Not you specifically, but our listeners. I don't think our listeners should live in that fear. And I get that a lot of people are going to be like, oh, I had somebody that died. Okay, compromised immune systems. There's a way. There were so many other better ways we could have handled this than by shutting and crippling down our economies. And how many people were on unemployment that didn't even need to be on unemployment, or got a ton of government money that didn't even need government money? What a waste. I mean, come on. That's the best you can do. Why? This is what we're paying all these taxes for, is for an inept group of people to run our country, I mean, really, that debt, we'll never pay that back. We won't.
Yeah, not right last time. But that's crazy. You just said that about people on unemployment. Then they just make it where you have to be actively searching for work now to submit your unemployment and to get paid for whatever it is amount, like for whatever time you didn't work or whatever. Or they're trying to hammer down, right? But I don't think they're gonna get to that point where really they're gonna harp on people like, hey, you actually got to be looking for a job and be employed, or whatever, or try to get employed, because if not, we're not gonna give you whatever it is money you're getting. But I just think it's kind of BS. Because you see a lot of that. I mean, let's just be real. Like, there is a lot of people that took, took advantage of that and just said, fuck it, I'm not going to go to work. I get paid more staying home than what I do actually working a regular, 40-hour week, 80 hours in a check, whatever.
Bro.
It's mind blowing. Like, I don't know, man. It's just, I guess people are just built differently to go ahead and do that, take advantage of that. I'm just saying, like, I just couldn't. I don't know. It's just a feeling of guilt if I were to do that. And to me personally, I just couldn't do it. Just sit there and just not do anything. It's just, it's
No,
crazy.
and I don't think we as a country should put up with that shit
Yeah.
either. I think that, okay, welfare again was started as a temporary thing. Like, hey, we're going to be temporary. Why is it that we can go to our local grocery store and see the same people on welfare for 1, 2, 3 beyond? I mean, live a whole life on welfare, while you and I have to work every day, and they drive nicer cars than us. And get this, they have scams that these guys are running now where they know that they can get top dollar for, let's just say, Infamil, the milk that kids, the little babies drink. So this is the scam that they're running. They get it for free with their food stamps, with their EBT cards, right? They get a whole bunch. They go to OfferUp,
they slang it,
and they sell it. So it's the money that I've paid in taxes. But if I want to save a few dollars and I want some Infamil on the cheap, I just go to my local welfare recipient and I start buying it off of them. That's their hustle. Their hustle is state subsidized money, and they're flipping it.
Yeah.
Like it's a goddamn sneaker.
You'd be surprised nowadays, dude. They're flipping whatever they could fucking do.
But I'm just, and then I'm the bad guy for being upset about it. I'm the bad guy for putting in my 40 to 60 hours a week and then paying and then getting pissed off that my local government and my federal government just scrapes my money, my 30% right off the top.
Yeah.
You know,
every year you pay X amount, a couple G's in taxes, but those taxes are going to those people that you're talking about, getting that free milk, slanging it on OfferUp, then getting that money to them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and I'm driving an Acadia, and then they're driving an Escalade. So how is this happening? You're not working at all. You're slinging milk. You're living off the government teat, and you have a better house and a better car than I do, and I am literally working harder than you will ever work in your life.
Yeah, we're not too hard sometimes.
And I'm the bad guy. I'm the bad guy.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's wild, dude. It's wild when really, we go into detail like that. I like, at a certain point, I'm like, yeah, I do get pissed about it. Trust me. Like, if you could ask my wife, I go on rants sometimes about little shit like that. When you hear and read stories about like shit like that in general, or just the topic if it comes up, right? But I say to myself, you know what, man? I go to sleep fine at night. I do get mad every time I see that total amount. When I I brought up taxes, thinking about that now gets me pretty fucking heated, because it's like, oh my God. Like, and then you have people that like, they don't pay anything. Like, they get money in return, but then like us, like I have to pay. It's a couple G's. I'll just say that it's a couple $1,000, but it's like, man, I feel like I'm getting this shit into the stick. But where's that money going? That's my thing. Where is that money going? I want to know. So
they pay you to fail.
Yeah,
they reward failure.
Yeah,
and they're trying to
secure their backwards. I think. Yeah,
it is backwards.
Yeah.
And I think Thomas Jefferson, one of our founding fathers, you're not supposed to say fathers anymore. That's supposed to be the founding framers. Fuck all that bullshit. So one of our founding fathers, no, it's because we're living in a new day. They're trying to change the rules. They're trying to, and here's the thing. I'll go into this real quick. Well, Jefferson said that once 50% of the voting base realizes that they can vote money for themselves, your democracy's over. So we are done. And I've told you so many times about the Tytler wheel, the Tytler model, the William Tytler model about the US. We are so close now to being in bondage again. Being in bondage meaning we live off the government. This great reset that everybody's talking about. We are so close to that on not just an American scale, but on a global scale, where they want to take our wealth from us. We have like our houses, right? These house prices are going to rise to the point where people are going to get priced out of their own homes. They're going to have to sell because they can't afford the property taxes. Right. And how is it, right, that the house that I bought is all of a sudden 200,000-300,000 more in just a couple of years, and then I'm having to pay taxes on that? Where is that? Where is the justification? And if I sell, where in the hell am I going to find a house that I can move into reasonably priced?
Straight up.
Unless you
move out of state, of course.
And they know that.
Yeah.
and
I
it's
mean,
by design.
yeah, it's fucking crazy, man. I mean, it's almost scary to think like in like 20 to 30 years or 20 years in general, like 10 years, like how much of this shit's really going to change for the good, or it's just going to get fucking worse. You know, I mean, I'm all about being optimistic, but it's just like the more, I don't know, man, like you were saying, like your property taxes. And then if you want to move to a different spot, maybe you want to downsize a little bit, but still that house is still going to cost you the same amount. The house that you know, in the house that you're living right now, it's gonna be the same amount. So there goes your fucking money that you got
Right.
extra from when the price went up. It's like, what the fuck? Doesn't make sense. I don't know. It doesn't add up, dude. And it's, I don't know. I just get frazzled. I swear when I think about it, dude. And it's
Well,
just fucking crazy.
and it's not going to stop until we finally do something about it. And so the other thing too, like we were talking about, I was talking about the founding fathers, and I'm gonna
Thomas.
stick with that. No, just the founding fathers. You're not supposed to say
Oh.
founding fathers. You're
Well,
supposed
what
to
is that?
pretend like they
So what
weren't a
is that?
bunch of men.
So why can't we say fathers? Why?
Because it's not inclusive. It's not inclusive. So we have to pretend like all of the people that created this country, that designed it, that wrote the Declaration of Independence and the Constitution and the Bill of Rights, all that. We have to pretend like they weren't men, that they weren't, you know, white, and they weren't all European. We have to pretend like they were just the founding framers.
Mm.
They called themselves the founding fathers. I'm not changing it. But in this new woke generation that we live in, you have to follow those rules or you will get canceled. And guess what? It's not working. The people that there's so many people that tried to play that cancel and or that be super woke game, and they're getting canceled by their own people. Like Billie Eilish. I think that's her name, Billie Eilish or Eyelash, or
Singer,
I don't know.
Is he a singer, rapper?
Some stupid singer, just a kid. And I shouldn't bash on her, but she's pretty much worthless. But she came out with some racist stuff where she was like,
oh, she made fun of something relative to Asian people. Yes. Or something like that, right? Okay, I heard something about that. Okay,
and she got lit up. She got lit up like a Christmas tree, and
okay.
You know, and people were saying, oh, she needs to be canceled. Well, you know, of course they're going to give her a second chance. But if anybody on the conservative side were to, you know, like a country singer, I remember who was it?
Darius Rucker.
No,
I don't know. That's the other guy I know. That's the other guy I know.
No, not Darius Rucker. I think his name was Luke Combs. I think
Luke Campbell.
No, there was some country singer that got he used the N-word and he apologized for it, but people were not giving up. They were like, no, canceled for life. You know, fuck all that shit. I think that people say stupid shit, and to hold someone on one moment in their life, just that one thing that they said, Billy or whatever this country singer's name is, or whoever it is, and to hold them on that one moment, that is one of the weakest things you can do as the judges and jury of the cancel culture. And because you're ruining everything. You everything that this artist worked for, or this person, this businessman, or the businesswoman, or business thing, whatever they want to be identified by. As soon as they you put all this work and school and time and effort and money and energy and you know, passion into, and then they say one thing, and then a mob can destroy everything just like that, like it's a goddamn Twin Towers that was sent by George W. Bush by Al Qaeda. No, you can't do that. You can't ruin someone's whole career just off of making a mistake, especially if they apologize. So
I think a lot of people get tied up with the fact that, like, you know, they probably ask themselves, are they really sincere about their apology? Like, what if that's just for, you know, what is it, for publicity? Like, right, you can say you're sorry, but do you really mean it? See what I'm saying?
Who cares?
So,
if they said it and they don't ever say it again, isn't that sorry enough?
Yeah.
I mean, who are you to judge if somebody's sorry enough?
Yeah.
Who are you to judge? Who are you to take all of that the sponsorships and the contracts and all the things away from someone who put in way more money and effort and talent into anything that you could never do? Who are you to take that from somebody?
Yeah. Yeah, true. I mean, it goes hand in hand, right? You fuck up, you made a mistake, don't ever do it again. It's a live and learn, right? But when you have this wave of people like going after you or just going after a certain individual and kind of taking pretty much like everything that they've worked hard for, depending whatever profession or whatever they're in, it's kind of like a couple streamers, right? Some gaming streamers, because I watch cats that stream Call of Duty. They got called out for using like there was this one on this specific particular individual. He was using like the word like he was saying like the word retard and all this stuff, like just saying it like just pretty like pretty consistently in this conversation he was having with somebody, I don't know what. And then I guess the day after, an organization that he was under pretty much, took his sponsorship away, kicked him off the organization. And then you have a bunch of people coming after him saying all this much stuff. And he apologized. And I think still there's still an overshadow, like that cast of cloud over him. Like, like you're saying, well, he kind of learned his lesson. He pretty much apologized. Like, what more would you expect a person to do at that point? You know what I'm saying? But yet you have people kind of being like judges in a sense to where like, no, we're going to make like, when we feel like it, we'll let you go back to, how things were before that ever happened. But like, even like the shit, the abuse online still happens, like them still bashing this guy for, if you already said he apologized for what he did, like you said, like, isn't that good enough? I mean, what more would a person have to do?
I mean,
so,
and
I see what you're saying for sure. Yeah. But I'm just kind of playing devil's advocate from the side up there. And like, how do I know that you're not still seeing that type of shit behind closed doors? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, if you're the one with the sponsorship, you can ask that.
Yeah.
You can ask that because but it's your money. You can do whatever you want. Don't succumb to this woke mob that wants to control every little thing. I
like
mean,
the
it's a
narrative
game.
and how things
It's a
shift,
goddamn
right?
game to them. That's all it is. They think it's a game, and they probably have all these little tallies on all their little cupcake collections and whatever Hello Kitty collection boxes that they have. And they probably keep tallies of, oh, okay, we canceled this person, we canceled this, and they're just laughing and high-fiving each other, and it's a big game to them. They don't care. They relish in the fact that they are bringing people that are much 10 times 100,000 times more talented and popular and beautiful and better voiced and better looking than they will ever be, more successful. They're never going to live out of their parents' basement. They're always going to remain losers in life, but they're just pretend winners on Twitter. That's all they are. They're losers. And I think that people are waking up to it. And I think that more of us should talk openly about it. But just this conversation alone could just set the right fuse off to where all of a sudden Brett's cancel me. I don't care. I have built enough wealth that I can go anywhere. I have so much talent that I can go anywhere I want. I made something out of nothing when I moved to Washington. If they want to take everything from me, listen, I came here with nothing. I have no problem losing it all. I've got the talent to rebuild. I can do it again. And this woke mob, this cancel culture is never going to own me. They're never going to control me. They tried to like when I went on TV, they tried to make this character of me and who I was. And guess what? I bucked the system. I said, I'm not going to be that person. You can make me look to be like I'm this guy that is spineless and that I married some gold digger. I'm not going to be that. I'm not going to play that character. You guys can edit your film. You can manipulate everything you want, but I'm not that. I'm never going to be that. You can pretend. You can make your money off of me. You can play that and edit that video and all that and make it look like that, but I'll never be that.
Yeah. I think it's just, man, like, especially with social media in general, man, there's just so many people that are investing like their whole life into doing shit like that. That itself is mind blowing to me. Cause it's like, dude, there's more to things in life than just, staying on fucking on your phone or on the computer or whatever. Like even me, like just the fact of using social media like Instagram or Facebook or whatever, like using them for their intended purposes of like staying in touch with the family, like sharing cool photos, just the as simple as can be, not other bullshit where like you got to put other like all the negative shit that comes with it. It's crazy. Like
but
you
know
can live
what?
like an alternate world, like like it was a crazy topic that I was listening to. Like people literally can showcase how they're really living on Instagram, but in reality, it's nowhere near that. So it's like you're building this whole facade of like you being somebody you're really not. See what I'm saying? So it's like it's wild to me. People like do that type of shit, and then that goes along with like this whole thing with like with cancel culture, like really you're gonna go online and really just try to find any target you can have or find to really just like strip them away of everything just because like you said it could be just making a fucking foul mistake down in your past. Cool, like if you live and learn from that, cool, all right, now to do better down the road, and leave it at that. But it's like it's crazy that has to exist in general, right? Like cancel culture. Like I didn't even know what it was until like I really kind of like started really paying attention. Like, what the fuck is really going on with this whole thing? You see what I'm saying? But again, they go after the people that feel like they can just make their fucking life live in hell after that for like you said, doing something stupid. Cool. All right, now you know not to do it. Life goes on, right? Just with
Right.
anything. So
Right.
it's crazy though, man. I mean, just this era we're living in with just social media in general, dude. Uh, I kind of try to steer away from it. Honestly, I really try not to really focus on that shit much. Aside if it's like
Yeah.
having to do with the podcast, right, or just interacting with people that I really know, like you or anybody else that I really know, or just keeping up to date with certain things, with shows that I watch, whatever, cool, or Comic Cons, right? But it's never really like me really like deep nose diving into other bullshit that I really need to I like don't have
No,
time for. You know what I'm saying?
I'm not, and it's not like I'm spending all that time either. I'm just
Yeah,
tired of watching my favorite artist all of a sudden disappear and get
yeah, yeah.
unpersoned on Facebook and social media. I want my favorite artist to still have a home,
Yeah,
whether
yeah.
they say something that pissed off the leftist ideology
Mhm.
or not. I don't care. I don't listen, there's a reason why I don't listen to the podcasts that go way to the left, or
Mhm.
the radio, the TV shows that go way to the left, because I don't like it. That's not who I am. I will never be that guy. I will never like it. I will never, I will never get behind something so far left that it's almost like it's not me. It's not me. I can't relate. So I'm not tuning it. I'm not watching it. I'm not wasting my time. But then when they cancel my people, like I think there was Tim Allen that got, he was someone that got canceled
You got
for doing
canceled?
some stupid. I don't know. He was they took him off the TV for a while, and
Hmm.
and he's someone in Hollywood who is known to be a conservative, and they didn't want him there. They want no one from with a conservative ideology, like the chick that was on Star Wars, Mandolin, I should say, where she was saying something about the
Oh, okay.
Nazi
I didn't hear
party,
about.
making a reference party or whatever, a
Yeah, yeah.
reference to the Nazi party, and and they canceled her right away when people on the other side were saying the same goddamn thing about Trump, and then they were, if anything, they got more sponsors. They were promoted for it. So what the fuck? That's what
Yeah,
I'm saying.
that's
I'm
wild. Okay.
tired of it. I am so sick and tired of it. I'm so sick and tired of Hollywood, the rotten core that Hollywood is, that completely destroyed Britney Spears' life. I think we should talk about that
That's
before.
fucking wild. Yes, yes. Let's
They
go into that. Yeah.
completely, that whole Hollywood scene and the judges and everybody involved with Britney Spears and a lot of these Hollywood celebrities' lives, they are so rotten to the core and so corrupt and so greedy and dishonest and repulsive and just disgusting as humans. Not even humans. I don't even think they're human. I think they're disgusting and they're vile, and they don't care one iota about what they do to people and their career. Look at Lindsay Lohan, right? And here we are. We mocked Britney Spears in 2008 when she shaved her head. Oh, look, she shaved her head. Oh my God. When really we should have been rallying behind her. We should
Yeah.
have been rallying, but no, we took the side of the industry, the slimy, repulsive, disgusting music industry, and
So,
mocked and ridiculed her.
so what was okay? So, just so if I'm on the right page with you, when she shaved her head, was she going through some like I guess some just some traumatic experiences in her life at that point in time? Like,
Who
or
knows?
was that more like a publicity stunt, like
No.
just to shave her head? Like, I never understood that. Only when it happened, I'm like, Okay, she
I think
shaved her head.
homegirl.
Like what's going on? Like, I honestly, that was my honest opinion. Like, or my honest reaction. Like, what's going on? Why did she do that? You know what I'm saying?
So
Like,
at that time, she was on probation,
okay,
and so they had to piss test her for cocaine, and if she piss tested for cocaine, then she was going to lose her children. If she piss tested positive for using cocaine, she was going to lose her children.
okay,
This is this is only based on memory. I could be totally wrong, but this is
okay.
how I remember it. So she had cocaine in her system, so she knew that she didn't want to lose her kids, so she shaved her head so that if they took a hair sample, there would be no hair long
That's
enough
right.
to
That's
show any
right.
traces of cocaine. So,
Mm.
but it was also at the same time where everything was happening. Everything, there were, paparazzi, excuse me, all this commotion. I mean, she had the conservatorship that she had, I think, since she was 14, where basically her parents
Would have controlled her
ran
money and all that stuff, right?
control and her decision, controlled everything she did as a person, controlled whether she could date, whether she could do this, whether she could travel, whether she could tour, whether. And so since she was the one making all the money for the family, then they needed to keep that. Now conservatorship apparently is supposed to be a temporary thing. It's supposed to
Okay.
be like a 1 to 2 year thing at most, not a goddamn decade and a half.
I know, man. It's been a fucking long time since when she first popped off, right? Like with was it One More Time? All those
Oops, I
songs
did
like
it
back in the
again.
day. Yeah, Oops, I Did It Again. No, it's wild, man. It's crazy. It's sad that when she made a statement or when she was in court when she said all this that they have an IUD in her to prevent her from having kids, but she wants kids. It's like, yo, that's kind of fucking. That's like, isn't that kind of
They
some kind of
dosed her with,
abuse?
they made her take lithium,
That's fucking yeah, yeah. And it's supposed to
you
like if you're
know.
on that shit for a long period of time, it can fuck you up like mentally, right?
Right. Right. And
That's what,
and she may have
wild.
not even needed it. They
Yeah,
may have given her stuff that she didn't even need, but wanted to control her in a way that they could control her money and could control her decision making.
yeah. I mean, they've had this whole campaign of free Britney from fucking like for a while now. That you know, like to really know like is she doing okay? Are all these videos that she's releasing on her personal pages on her social media platforms, like if that's really her being the way she really wants to be, if she's really happy. And then all of a sudden this came out, like, because my wife would kind of keep up with like little stories of what's going on with her, and she would talk to me about it, and we would just kind of like have like just little brief discussions of what's going on with her. But it's fucking nuts, man. To think that they really had control from the age of 14 till now of her money, her decision making. It's like, they're all doing it more slightly for the benefit of themselves. Like, obviously they want to control the fucking money, obviously, so
Right.
they can do
It's the
whatever it
same
is they
thing that
want to do
happened
with
to
it.
Michael Jackson.
Yep. No, that's
They
true.
destroy Michael Jackson's parents were just completely just they fell in love with the money, and the money grew above any type of love they could ever have for their children.
Yeah.
They destroyed their children.
It's fucking crazy though, man. And I think that she's supposed to go back to court, right? For another hearing to decide on what's really gonna happen now. And if they can remove her or remove her dad from her what do you call that? Her
Conservatorship.
yeah. Dude, yeah. That's just fucking crazy, dude.
I pray that she gets freedom. I hope
Yeah, straight
that
up.
we can get a judge that is not bought off by the Hollywood slime venomous creatures that slime their way all around Hollywood.
That's
And I
facts.
hope that we can get a judge who really gives a shit about humans and the life of a young girl who just literally had her whole life basically taken from her, stripped from her by the industry, by the music industry.
Yeah, I mean, I think all those young girls kind of went through some fucking major shit in their lives. There was Lindsay Lohan. Remember Amanda Bynes too? She kind of
Yeah.
went
Yep.
Amanda Bynes and then Britney. It's fucking
What about
crazy, dude. The twins,
Christina Aguilera?
Christina Aguilera too. Well, she was actually the only one that I feel like never really dealt with anything like that. That I
Okay.
remember. I don't know. I could be wrong, but it's fucking
Yeah.
crazy. Nah, man. I hope for the best for her. Hopefully, like you said, she can get some freedom and live her life and just be happy, man. Fuck, being under control of somebody else, shit, be fucking a bitch right there, man. That's crazy. That is fucking crazy. But fuck, dude. I mean, Dude, there's other topics that I know that came to mind before this, but we're such in a good role talking about just various things
What
on this
about the
lovely
heat
podcast.
dome that we're going
Oh,
through?
dude, I know. Well, what's crazy, I underestimated this whole fucking heat wave that we're supposed to have. Like with anything, I'll kind of wait till last minute. So now I'm suffering. I don't know if you can tell I'm fucking not really sweating, but I was sweating before this pod.
Yeah.
Actually, wife and I, baby girl, were on the back, just kind of kicking back on the outside in our backyard, and we filled up my little girl's kiddie pool, and we were just chilling out there. We had our feet in there. We were cooling off, just kicking back and just enjoying the afternoon, relaxing. And I'm like, fuck, I should have bought a pool. What's crazy though? What is crazy though? So like last week, all the stores were full of pools and all that, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I was considering like, man, should I buy one like an inflatable so I can just dip in there and just kind of hang out, just cool off? And like, nah, fuck it, I won't need it. I regret it now. And it seems to be like I always do that. I always say, fuck, I regret it. I should do it again. Same with an AC. I should have bought another AC. I didn't do it. Now they're all sold out. Now we gotta wait. So I mean, I actually have to get used to this heat, like as it is, and kind of like take it for what it is. Because the next week, I'm gonna be in an area where it's gonna be 105 degrees.
Oh,
Yeah.
where are you going?
Eastern Washington, Lake Chelan,
Wow.
Lake Chalizan. So I'll be there, kicking back, camping, doing that. Take a dip in the lake, even though I can't fucking swim. So if I drown, it was me.
You were Jeffrey Epstein.
Yeah. Someone Jeffrey Epstein me
John
in the fucking
McAfee. Okay, so the heat wave, right? We're dealing with historic high temperatures in the Pacific Northwest.
Yes.
25 million people are facing an unprecedented amount of heat and temperature. So get this. My wife today was up at Lake Goodwin, which is up north of Seattle, and taking our kids, and she says, hey, she's telling me, she's like, there are cars parked all along the road, and that's normally where we park. Even though there's like a no parking zone, there's still plenty of cars. Like you can literally park there if you need to, you're not obstructing traffic. It's just they don't want you to park there.
Yeah.
So she decided not to park there because there were police sort of in the area.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, okay, I'll just park in the neighborhood area, which is, I don't know, a ways away. Well, anyway, so then she noticed that the police were taking down license plate numbers. And so then by the time she left the pool, she went back to the car to leave. The police had all of the vehicles towed that were parked along the road. And my thought, I said, shame on the police for doing that. Shame on every goddamn police officer that was out there in the dead of the heat, towing these vehicles away of people that needed to be in the water. You know how goddamn hot it is in our area. This is historical. This is historic heat. And you're out there, they're creating revenue for your vehicles and for all your bullshit and making us hate you even more by towing our cars away in the hottest fucking hottest day of the year.
So far,
you guys. So I was like, what the fuck are you guys doing? This is not what protecting and serving is about as a police.
Oh, they're serving those tickets, all right.
Bullshit. So, no wonder. Like normally I'm pretty pro police and I love police and I'm pro police. But when you have police towing fucking cars on the hottest goddamn day of the year, fuck you. That's what I'm saying.
It just makes it worse because I mean people are dealing with the heat. They want to go out, just take a nice little swim, take their families out, chill out, and you come out, your fucking car's towed, or you got a fatty ticket. It's fucking it's stupid. I mean, you could be out there, go catch somebody speeding. I see multiple motherfucking cars going down the freeway, or even these streetways here going above the speed limit. Do that.
But look at what you're doing as a police officer on Lake Goodwin, towing all these cars. Now you took the vehicle away from the people that need the vehicle on their hottest day. So not only were they trying to beat the heat by getting into the lake, and they needed to because they probably don't have air conditioning because every goddamn Home Depot and Lowe's is sold from air conditioning units. So they're like, hey, I'm just going to go soak and get some sort of temperature reduction, right? We're going to have some sort. And then you tow their vehicle and make them sit in the sun even longer. You dumb motherfuckers. That's what I'm saying. Any cop that does that, no, I'm saying I am not on your side when you do stupid shit like that. And I was waiting for myself to get a ticket, and I was going to go into court with the headline of today's headline with historic highs. And I was going to ask the judge, to his face, why would I pay a ticket on a day where I absolutely needed and obviously needed to be on the lake? Why would you do that to people? That's why we hate you. That's why we have beef.
Yeah. That's some like straight out of Compton shit right there too.
Well, it's stupid. It's fucking it's so irresponsible of a police officer to do that. That's so stupid.
Damn, so Lake Goodwin was popping off like that today, huh?
Apparently. And believe me, bro, I've seen this thing. I've seen that road done before. And guess what? If you really don't want people to park there, put some goddamn curb things that prevent you from being there. If you really don't want cars there, do something to where a car cannot be there. If that goddamn big of a deal for you.
Straight up.
But don't tow somebody's car in the heat of the hottest day of the year. You dumb people. They're so dumb.
Damn. Nevin.
That's all I gotta say.
That vodka's running straight through his veins right now.
Yeah, it's just Blue Moon. I'm pretty mild. But I don't mind. I don't mind calling out bullshit. I mean, that's bullshit. That's stupid. You know, like, hey, listen, I like I said, I'm pro police, right? But I've been tackled by police before, which is really stupid. I've been told that they were going to charge me with a crime one time for, they were going to charge me with reckless driving one time because I got beat up. I drove home and I got beat up by this guy, this road rager. And the cop said he was going to charge me with a crime. I'm like, you're one of the dumbest officers I've ever met. You're one of the dumbest police. Get off of my lawn. Get off my lawn. That's what I told the cop. I said, get off my lawn. You're not wanted here. What a dumb cop. I've met a lot of dumb police though. A lot of them don't even need. I mean, dude, you can be a police officer with a GED, a good enough degree. You can get, you know what I mean? And
no, I swear,
there's a lot of, and they get drunk off power. That's the problem with them. Yeah. They're so stupid.
I think it would be like the cool cops, you know, just roaming around, like getting free haircuts. Wait, cops get free haircuts, right? That's what I heard.
I don't know.
Oh, Dunkin' Donuts, coffee. You just mobbing around the fucking car, just chilling.
I don't think that image is going to last. I think that the more and more we talk about the stupid things that police do, you know, I mean, police really have to put themselves in check. As if this last year and a half hasn't been bad enough on you, you literally have no wiggle room to be stupid. You have no wiggle room to look like a goddamn stupid ignoramus out there towing people's cars in the heat of the day. And yes, I'm talking to all of the police that were out there on Lake Goodwin today. So yeah, on the hottest day in Washington state history.
Straight up.
I have no room for that. That is no empathy whatsoever. That is worthless. And I hope a judge, this is where these people can be saved, is where a judge can literally write off every single one of those fines. Those people should not have been fined. A warning.
I think
a warning would have been adequate. If I would have came home to my windshield and I saw a warning on there, I'd have been like, all right, I get it. Cool. I gotta go. I'll never do it again. Warning.
Slap on the wrist. Okay, now I know not to do it. Cool. All right, let's proceed. Just have try to have a good day, and then there you go.
And I live right next to the sheriff station, so these guys are going to be hawking me after this podcast. So I don't care. I don't care. It's just one stupid thing they did, and they should be called out for it.
All you're missing are two items: Red Wings jersey, red bandana. Fitting for this right here. So
grab your clocks when you call Tupac. When you see Tupac. Yeah. I maybe it's just the heat. I mean, I'm sitting here with a fan. I'm hot. I'm bothered, and I'm drunk. No,
I feel like you had a lot of this stuff to decompress, and I think this is good for the podcast because I mean, obviously, it's a matter of having a conversation about just whatever it is we want to talk about. But at the same time, it's like, I kind of look at this for like, you're right. There's maybe a lot of people feel the same way about a lot of things we talk about. Maybe a lot of people don't. But it's just the fact, like, right now we're talking about, right? You're right. People are dealing with the fucking heat. They can't get an air conditioner because they're all sold out everywhere. Now you got a police officer making their day a little even worse. Their car towed, a fat ticket. Now you got to go home and knowing that, like, fuck, I got to pay my car to get out from the fucking tow yard. $200 there. Those $200 could have gone for a fucking brand new AC unit, but what? No, they're sold out. Now you got to fucking wait. Now you got to pay that. Now you're short $200 to get an AC unit. Now you're fucked. So there's a chain of events that go down that make this shit, pretty legitimately fucked. So
yeah. What
I
if
get
you
what you're
got
saying.
4 kids that you were taking swimming because you don't have an AC unit in your apartment? Now you're going to put 4 kids in the heat stroke and put them at risk of heat stroke after you got your car towed. That is so here. If you see the anger coming out of me and the frustration from every story, from the McAfee with the taxes and the system, and to Britney Spears and to the police, I am so sick of the lack of empathy and compassion from people where it should come from. The
Yeah.
US government, if someone doesn't want to pay their taxes, you don't fucking kill them. And I'm not saying that with definitively that the US CIA killed John McAfee, but I assume they did. I
Mhm.
assume they did. That's my opinion.
Yeah.
And so I think that the CIA should have a little bit more empathy for people that don't want to pay their taxes. Fuck you. We don't want to
Yeah.
pay your wages, your
Yeah.
dark money wages. Britney Spears deserved a lot more compassion than she got.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm not talking about just from the judges and the Hollywood. I'm saying from us as fans. There were so many people that mocked and ridiculed her, and I'm sure myself included. I'm sure I was right in with it. If you want to look at another one for YouTube listeners, go to YouTube and type in Craig Ferguson speaks from the heart, and he talks about the whole Britney thing. He was an alcoholic himself, and he talked a lot about this lack of compassion that people have for people who are struggling with substance abuse. And the audience, just listen to the lack of compassion and how out of touch his audience is, because they wanted so hard to laugh at a Britney Spears joke. And he even told them, I'm not telling a Britney Spears joke. His audience didn't believe him. They kept laughing anyway. He was talking about Anna Nicole Smith and how she died, and they were trying to laugh at that as if that was a joke. I'm just saying, people, we've lost our souls, and we need to get our souls back. We need to get our compassion back. We need to be empathetic again, because we are soulless creatures, and we are destroying ourselves. We are destroying our society, and I'm sick of it. So it frustrates me, and I drink. And but that's it.
Oh
That's all I have to
god.
say.
Bars. No, man. I mean, dude, you're right. I think just nowadays, like, you almost kind of want to look where you almost feel like you need to tread lightly when it comes to like just meeting new people. Where obviously me and you can get throw shit back and forth and just kind of joke around, talk
Of
about
course.
whatever, and I like meeting people like that because it's like now it's kind of difficult almost to where you got to be careful. Like if you can talk to a certain individual a certain way,
I
cool.
know
Like
that.
all about like respecting someone's beliefs and just knowing like there's certain things you don't want to say around certain individuals. Cool, but it's like almost where you really like where you have to second guess like, can I say this? How do I say
Right.
that? I don't want them to think if I meant it this way that they're gonna say like they're gonna think
Mm-hmm.
I'm whatever, right? But
Right.
it's crazy, dude. It's like I think people are putting too much thought into certain things where it, they're overcomplicating things a little too much. Where it's like, dude, it's as simple as can be. Like, if you say a certain thing a certain way, it doesn't go more than that. But then it's like they assume you say things certain ways where it's like it could be labeled being, you're anti this, anti that. Like me getting not getting that COVID vaccine doesn't mean I'm an anti-vaxxer. No, it's like I've gotten my flu shot before, but I just don't trust the vaccine that just came out like a year ago, where they could say that it's 100% effective or whatever, 95%
Right.
effective, whatever you want to say. But it's like I don't feel comfortable. I kind of look at it like technology, right? The newest thing comes out, but I want to wait. I want to get the one that comes out like 6-7 months after, to at least know they fix the kinks and they fix the bugs out to where okay, I can get it then.
Yeah.
Now I know that it's working smoothly. They improved a lot of things in it. Cool, I'll get it then. But
Yep.
that's how I look at it. I'm not saying I'm an anti-vaxxer, but I'm just saying like I'm not gonna get it for now.
Yeah, I
For
don't
now.
want to
So
be that guy who is watching a commercial in 10 years from now that says, if you received the COVID vaccine in 2021 and
I always
you
say
have an
that.
inflamed heart and blah, blah,
Yeah.
blah.
You could
No,
be settled for a lawsuit.
yeah.
1.5. Yeah.
Check it out. I had the antibodies. I got sick with COVID. I let my body do what it naturally does, kicks ass, takes names,
Yeah.
you know, and no matter whether the virus is man-made or not, my body don't give a fuck. It's out there just kicking it old school style.
Yeah.
So I don't, I believe in my body. I take care of it. I go to the gym. I try to eat as good as I can, and so I do all the right things. So
Yeah.
why do I need your man-made Bill Gates shit? I don't
Yeah.
need your Bill Gates tracking system in my body. No, I'm just kidding.
I mean, yeah, there we go. There it is. There it is. We know why now. No, but it's true, man. I mean, it goes to the simple things of you take care of yourself, you exercise, you eat good, you should be fine, man. Right? So it's just a lot of people they think that maybe it is that they're living in fear. I don't know what it could be, but it's just more people just want to be extra cautious and extra sure that they're not going to get sick, and then obviously all of a sudden it just breaks your body down like 110% or whatever. But I mean, I'm all about, just like you said, if you're taking care of your body, taking care of yourself, taking care of taking your multivitamins or whatever. I mean, you should be cool, right? You get a little sick here and there. I mean, I haven't got sick in a while, which is crazy. I'm actually surprised. Like I've gotten like the stomach flu, like a little bit of like a cold flu, like maybe just me sneezing, just runny nose, all that shit, but nothing really crazy like before, which is wild. Like ever since this whole shit happened, so I'm kind of surprised. Like I've been taking my multis, I've been running here and there, jogging, getting my workout here and there, and I've been trying to eat better. So it's like maybe hand in hand, maybe that's what's working. Maybe it's really improving my immune system. I don't know, but if that's the case, I'll take it. Fuck it, at least I'm trying to take care of myself. So I don't know, man. I mean,
Yeah.
I guess people just do what they want. Let's just leave it at that.
Yeah, I call it exposure therapy. Expose me to the hard shit and I'll figure it out.
Yeah.
I'll figure it out. It might kick my ass for a little bit, whether it's getting lit up. Maybe I say the wrong thing that pisses off the wrong person. Exposure therapy. Okay.
Yeah.
I see that I rubbed some people the wrong way. Sorry. I won't say it again. So can we continue the show? And can you shut the fuck up?
Oh man, you are feeling it. That blue moon.
No, I mean, like I said, it's the lack of compassion. The cancel culture is so opposite of empathy and compassion, and they pretend to be. They're like, oh, we're just protecting all these people from getting their feelings hurt. Shut up and eat your Greek yogurt and your guacamole toast and whatever the fuck you're eating. I don't give a fuck. Just shut up and have some compassion for these people that have worked years for their profession, their talent, their skill, and just let them continue on with their life. Let them go back to their movies. Let them go back to their CDs and making music in their music studios. Just shut the fuck up. Go back to Twitter and just live your lonely little worthless life. But you don't even have to be worthless. You can literally take that same energy, and the same energy that you want to cancel and destroy someone's career with their whole life and their livelihood, you can literally start something new in your community. Like say you want to help people, say you really want to help people from not feeling sad or whatever. There's so many things you can do to help people that doesn't amount to destroying somebody's career just because they said something that goes against your political beliefs or your ideologies or your whatever, your feelings. It doesn't hurt your feelings. Exposure therapy.
Yeah.
And back in the 90s, we used to call that grow some balls, but you can't say that anymore.
Nah. So,
I mean,
that's
so whatever the new flavor of grow some balls is, whatever you guys have to say these days, it's more PC. Do that. Do the equivalent of what we used to say in the 90s is grow some balls, and do that. That's what I have to say.
Yeah.
That's it.
All right. You want to leave it on that note? I mean, shit.
Yeah. Tell them all the. Go ahead with the ending cuts and tell them where to go and all that fun stuff. You there? Hey, pour me another beer, will you?
Yeah. So we're gonna end it on that note. Of course, if you want to keep up to date with us and everything we got going on new with the Twitch podcast, you can follow us on our Instagram page at the Twitch podcast, and go check out all our past previous episodes in video format on our YouTube page. Just look us up. Twitch podcast, boom, will pop up and see all our videos that we've done with just me and Brad, all our cool past previous guests that we've had on there. Awesome episodes. We have a little bit of everything. Again, this podcast is about everything and anything. Literally what we find interesting, we just try to go in there, bam, making good content, right? And then
Yes,
we're on all major streaming platforms such as Spotify, Apple Podcasts, TuneIn FM Radio, all that biz, Google Podcasts. You'll find us there. But until next time, this is us. We'll catch you in the next one. Have a good day. Have a good weekend. Stay hydrated. Drink a lot of water. Stay cool. See ya. Peace.
and another one.